Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Before we begin our celebration this evening, I would ask those of you with cell phones or pagers to please turn them off or set them on a vibrating mode. Thank you. The building code requires, and the fire marshal has insisted, that all aisles be kept clear during this evening's ceremony. Ushers are available to guide you back to your seats as necessary. Visitors and guests are requested to remain in their pews during the processional and recessional portions of this evening's program. Good evening. My name is Lisa Koenig, and I am Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the School of Dentistry, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this ceremony of investiture. I would also like to welcome those of you who are joining us online this evening. Sharing the sanctuary dais with me are, to my immediate right, Dr. William Lobb, Dean of the School of Dentistry, and the Reverend J.J. O'Leary of the Society of Jesus. And on my far right are Dr. Paul Engibus and Dr. William Rieger. Drs. Engibus and Rieger were selected by the class of 2017 to invest them with their doctoral hoods. The student participants in tonight's ceremony were also selected by their classmates. We will now have the welcome from the class of 2017 delivered by Miss Maria Barnes. Miss Barnes.
I'd like to welcome everyone, family and friends. Thank you for being here with us today as we are welcomed into the profession of dentistry by our mentors and soon-to-be colleagues. Even though this ceremony tonight is not our official commencement, in some ways it is even more momentous because it symbolizes how far we have come over the last 4 years. At the beginning of each and every semester, over the last 4 years, a wise man reminded us of our limited supply of sugar cubes and told us to take care, and then proceeded to list all of the areas in our lives that applies to: family, friends, faith, and ourselves. Although this journey has certainly been filled with many trials, it has also held many celebrations, all of which we have counted on all of you to be there for. So from the entire graduating class of 2017, thank you for your constant encouragement, love, and support. We would not be here without you. We are grateful to be here tonight, receiving this honor and soon beginning our careers wherever they may lead us. We are grateful for the opportunities that have been afforded to us by the many supporting figures in our lives. Please know that your helping hand along the way has not been forgotten. And most of all, we are grateful that we are completing this chapter in our lives so that we may begin the next. So once again, thank you for being here with us to celebrate tonight as the Marquette University Dental School class of 2017 is hooded into the profession of dentistry.
Thank you, Ms. Barnes. The hooding ceremony is an ancient one, and although this is not a religious ceremony, it is truly fitting that we are here tonight in this beautiful church. Since the Middle Ages and continuing to the modern era, clerics were often the most educated persons in a village or city. They took it upon themselves to be the teachers, and therefore celebrations of graduation frequently took place in churches. Since the 14th century, when the University of Coimbra mandated by statute that doctors and licentiates wear gowns, academic attire has followed certain customs. The gown for the doctoral degree is black, has bell-shaped sleeves, and may be worn open or closed. The front of the gown is trimmed with a velvet facing, and the sleeves have 3 stripes of the same color. The hood is black, 4 feet in length, and has panels on both sides. The hood is lined with the official colors of the university, so graduates of Marquette University have hoods trimmed in blue and gold. The panels are velvet, 5 inches wide, and are black in color, similar to that seen on the hooders' gowns. Tradition says that the graduates can only receive their doctoral hoods from someone already vested with the same degree. Tonight, as previously mentioned, this honor falls to Drs. Engibus and Rieger, or to a close family member or mentor already possessing the doctoral dental degree. The reception of the doctoral hood signifies that one has been accepted to full participation within the profession. Tomorrow, when President Lovell pronounces you graduates of Marquette University, you may officially take the title of doctor and use it in front of your name. The mentorship program was established to foster relationships between practicing dentists and Marquette University dental students. Representing the mentorship program tonight is Dr. Paul Veit. Dr. Veit.
Good evening. I got goosebumps coming in here. What a beautiful place to celebrate this event. It's my privilege to be here tonight on behalf of the mentorship program. I would like to offer congratulations to the Marquette University School of Dentistry class of 2017. You are finally getting out. The mentorship program, in place since the early 1990s, has been imitated by others, includes the collaborative efforts of the Pierre Fauchard Academy, the Wisconsin Dental Association, and the Marquette University School of Dentistry. This program provides the link between our student doctors and members of the practice community. As mentors, we provide support, advice, and opportunities to our protégés. These protégés, whether knowingly or not, give back to us their energy, enthusiasm, and willingness to learn. It is very refreshing to step out of practice and spend time with our newest generation of dentists. Protégés, now soon to be doctors, don't forget about those in this room who helped you get to this day, and don't forget to check in with your mentors. We want to help you transition into your next phase of dentistry. On behalf of all the mentors who participated in this program, we wish you the best, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Veit. As you heard, there is a very special relationship between mentors and their protégés. You will note in a few moments, many members of the graduating class have elected to be hooded by their mentors, who will be asked to join their protégé in the sanctuary for the investiture. We will now begin the investiture ceremony. Would Drs. Engibus and Rieger please prepare the hoods? Dr. Lobb, will you please take your place? Would Dr. Creamer, Dr. Hagner, Ms. Hoppe, Ms. Wiedor, Ms. Grady, Ms. Trechik, and Ms. Gleason please assume their stations to assist the graduates, family hooders, and mentors. The names of the graduates will be read alphabetically and are listed in your program. To those of you in the audience who wish to take photographs, you are invited to come forward and do so immediately prior to your graduate's name being called. The front 2 rows have been kept open to accommodate that activity. However, the fire marshal has insisted that the aisles be kept clear. Once you have taken your photographs, please return to your seats so others may have the same opportunity. We really appreciate your cooperation in that regard. Thank you. Since this is a celebration, spontaneous outbursts of approval are both highly appropriate and strongly encouraged. Graduates, as I call your name, please come up the steps and receive your hood. Then proceed to receive Dr. Lobb's congratulations and return to your seat. Graduates, please queue up at the direction of Ms. Gleason. Keenan Malik Albitar will be hooded by his sisters, Dr. Sarah Albitar and Lena Albitar. Jose M. Alvarez will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Donald Hoff. Scott M. Armanson will be hooded by his father, Dr. Roger Armanson. Joshua Michael Andaloro will be hooded by his uncle, Dr. Charles Keever. Cassandra Jo Anderson will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Conrad Nen. Rochelle Joan Ashleyson will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Charles Rasmussen. Zanab Aziz will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Thomas Smithy. Maria DeRose Barnes will be hooded by her mother, Dr. Francesca DeRose, and her sister, Dr. Rosa Barnes. Eric Matthew Baster will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. John Farmer. Sylvia Noemi Bautista Morobel will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Lakeisha Arif Holmes. Teresa Beveridge Kabuling will be hooded by her father, Dr. Stephen Beveridge. Malia Marie Blyce will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Brian Yakush. Andrew Morgan Bloom will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Donald Hoff. Scott T. Boyer will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Nathaniel H. Burns will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Michael Zurich. Kelly Ann Carney will be hooded by her parents, Drs. Jane Carney and Susan Carney. Amanda Lynn Castillo will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Thomas Smithy. Joseph Jeffrey Curry will be hooded by his cousin, Dr. Randy Seablock. Danielle Marie DeMauro will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Mary Simmermansik. Yelena Jurgic will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Jane Wright. Caitlin Patricia Ann Doherty will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Monica Hebo. Natalie Barbara Downs will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Colin Patrick Egan will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Nafisa A. Almi will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Donald Hoff. Manuel Antonio Estrada will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. J. Preston. Laurent Joseph Forcioli will be hooded by his uncle, Dr. Joseph Zachariah. Katerina Clementina Foster will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Dennis Lynch. Kaylee R. Fritz will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Christopher Dix. Kaylee Elizabeth Fulmer will be hooded by her father, Dr. James Fulmer. Casey M. Gable will be hooded by her father, Dr. David C. Gable. Brian Michael Grisdella will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Axel K. Gunderson will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Jonathan M. Hanna will be hooded by his mother, Dr. Eva Hanna. Brian Michael Hart will be hooded by his father, Dr. Gerald Hart. Emily M. Haley will be hooded by her father, Dr. Todd Haley. Colin Thomas Hirsch will be hooded by his father, Dr. James Hirsch, and his sister, Dr. Sarah Wheeler. Melanie Elizabeth Hoffman will be hooded by her uncle, Dr. Mark Burby, and her fiancé, Dr. Adam Hammerbeck. Kevin J. Holly will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Hugh Murdoch. James Rasco will be hooded by his uncle, Dr. Mac Conover. Brittany C. Harris will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Conrad Nen. Amanda Lynn Hurley will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Paul Veit. Charlotte A. Hyams will be hooded by her father, Dr. Andrew Hyams. Paul James will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Ned Murphy. Sammy Stephen Cashew will be hooded by his uncle, Dr. Wade Arwal. Mary Frances Castengren will be hooded by her husband, Dr. Michael Lenz. Samantha Lee Koch will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Lynn Lipak McSorley. Andrew John Colath will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Christopher Ryan Crossett will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Thomas Smithy. Laura M. Landis will be hooded by her uncle, Dr. R. Peter Malley. Nicholas J. Landis will be hooded by his uncle, Dr. R. Peter Malley. Casey L. Levin will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Kenneth Zagaina. Sandra Locke will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Frank Marinelli. Timothy John Longo will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Alicia Therese Malik will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Thomas Smithy. Kelsey Ann Maruska will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Glenn Hikiliana. James Mason will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Conrad Nen. Brandon Wesley Neckelberg will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Nana N. Mensah will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Bruce Hamilton. Brian A. Mitchell would be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Juan Sebastian Munoz Sanchez will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Brett Trent. Alan Cole Nelson will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Brady Benjamin Nielsen will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Hugh Murdoch. Margaret Ordonez will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Christopher Dix. Amit M. Patel will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. J. Preston. Patel will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Patel will be hooded by her father, Dr. Vinay Patel. Satyam M. Patel will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Conrad Nen. Patrick Wesley Pulowski will be hooded by his father, Dr. Bernard Pulowski. Gina Marie Petrarca will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Rizalino Ire. Emily A. Pohl will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Frank Marinelli. Paul Kewin Renner will be hooded by his parents, Drs. William Renner and Francesca Martin. Scott Carl Robinson will be hooded by his father, Dr. Dean Robinson. Nicholas Mark Rognus will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Valentina Villela Ronning will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Michael Grady. Gordon Russell will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. William Taburin. James Schuler will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Valerie May Sefton will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Frank Marinelli. Christopher Seibert will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Thomas Smithy. Mitchell Austin Seibert will be hooded by his father, Dr. Jan Seibert. Igor Soren will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. J. Preston. Christina Annette Stoyanovich will be hooded by her father, Dr. Zoran Stoyanovich. Ray Strubens will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Robert Feider. Carly Ann Zurich will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Brager. Christopher John Townsend will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Rizzolino Ire. Gretchen E. Taylor will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Riga. Malia Tao will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. J. Preston. Logan T. Van Hoof will be hooded by his father, Dr. John Van Hoof. Joshua T. Vandenhavel will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Donald Hoff. Rebecca Myra van Evenhoven will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Patrick Knapp. Omar S. Vasquez will be hooded by his mentor, Dr. Donald Hoff. Robert Jeffrey Villa will be hooded by his aunt, Dr. Rosemary Villa. Jacqueline Lee Wanazak will be hooded by her cousin, Dr. Tom Wanazak. Michael William Wenserski will be hooded by his father, Dr. David Wenserski. Wozleski will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Anthony Wynant will be hooded by Drs. Paul Angibus and William Rieger. Megan C. Wolfinger will be hooded by her fiancé, Dr. Jason Crayenbuhl. Michael H. Wong will be hooded by his father, Dr. Stephen Wong. Badia A. Zadan will be hooded by her mentor, Dr. Michael Grady. To the class of 2017, let me be among the first to congratulate you on a job really well done. At this time, I'd like to call to the podium Miss Emily Pohl to lead the graduates in the Dentist's Pledge. Will the graduates please rise and remain standing after Miss Pohl leads you in the pledge?
Good evening. My name is Emily Pohl, and first of all, I would just like to thank my class for honoring me with this opportunity to lead you all in the reciting of our pledge into dentistry. By this pledge, we are committing ourselves to uphold the responsibilities and obligations that come with being a healthcare professional and to represent our profession with honor and dignity. Please join me by raising your right hand and repeating each line after me. Begin by stating your own name first. I, Emily Pohl, as a member of the dental profession, shall keep this pledge and these stipulations. I understand and accept that my primary responsibility is to my patients, and I shall dedicate myself to render, to the best of my ability, the highest standard of oral health care, and to maintain a relationship of respect and confidence. Therefore, let all come to me safe in the knowledge that their total health and well-being are my first considerations. I shall accept the responsibility that as a professional, my competence rests on continuing the attainment of knowledge and skill in the arts and sciences of dentistry. I acknowledge my obligation to support and sustain the honor and integrity of the profession, and to conduct myself in all endeavors such that I shall merit the respect of my patients, colleagues, and my community. I further commit myself to the betterment of my community for the benefit of all society. I shall faithfully observe the principles of ethics and code of professional conduct set forth by the profession. All this I pledge with pride in my commitment to the profession and the public it serves. There you have it. Now everybody smile for a picture.
Thank you, Ms. Pohl. I now call on the Reverend J.J. O'Leary of the Society of Jesus to give a class blessing. Father O'Leary.
God of us all, we gather tonight to celebrate and honor our graduates as they open a new chapter in their book of life. These talented women and men have used their many gifts to achieve this goal. But may any anxiety you have suffered, any tears you have shed, any inadequacy you have felt, help you to be even more compassionate to the people you will serve. We thank you for the many faculty, staff, and administrators who have poured so much of themselves into the task of education. We ask, too, that you bless all the people gathered here tonight who have loved and supported our graduates to make this day come true. Finally, we pray for our graduates with the psalmist, prosper the work of their hands, O Lord, prosper the work of their hands. And we ask all this in God's name, amen. God bless you always.
Thank you, Father O'Leary. Graduates, please be seated. We will now be taking a class picture, followed by Mr. Hanna's closing remarks. I would request that all family members and guests stay in their pews until our photographer, Mr. Jim Brozek, has had an opportunity to take the class picture. I would also ask those sitting in the front rows to please return to their seats at this time. When Mr. Brozak has completed taking the class picture, there will be ample time for you to take your picture. Thank you for your cooperation in returning to your seats. At this time, I ask the graduates to please assemble in front of the sanctuary for a class picture. Mr. Bozek, would you please assist the graduates? He's gone to get the ladder. So graduates, you may please come up, and Mr. Bozek will assist you in positioning you on the stage, the dais. At this time, I would ask Mr. Jonathan Hanna to come forward to give the closing remarks. Please remain seated. Mr. Hanna?
Thank you. Little do people know that this is the second time I'm being hooded. That's right. My mom reminded me that many years ago at her hooding ceremony, she was pregnant with me. But I'm here to talk about my dental class. Not to put images in your head of me as a fetus, that's gross, Mom. So here are some of my thoughts about the past 4 years. It was the best of times. It certainly was the worst of times. It was the pursuit of knowledge and also the pursuit of whining. The class of 2017, the baby blues. The first class of 100 students, all soon to be graduates of the best dental school in the entire state of Wisconsin. Of course, being the first class of 100 came with its own set of challenges. Like, who would have thought that 20 additional students would require more faculty? However, being in this unique position, we were able to set new precedents. Now, I say precedents, but the higher-ups call it whining. Tomato, tomato, let's agree to disagree here, all right? The journey was certainly a long one. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it's over. It's my first cliche tonight, if you're counting. Now, looking back at our time in Marquette, I know there will be things we will not miss, such as during every class, without fail, Rabia would let out the most theatrical sneeze I've ever witnessed. Rabia, thank you for keeping me awake during lecture. And if you ever need one, I know a great ear, nose, and throat doctor, just saying. I also won't miss sitting next to Brian Grisdell in our sim lab. For those of you who don't know him, Brian only knows about 10 words. And if you've ever met a parrot, it's something like that. Finally, I won't miss having patients ask, is this appointment going to take a long time? To which you respond, should be pretty quick if the lines aren't long, 3 hours later. But believe it or not, there will be things we will all miss about Marquette. Despite hearing the words, I can't wait to get out of here, from every one of my classmates. Writing this speech made me reflect on the experiences I've had with classmates. Because when you share blood, sweat, and tears with people, you're bound to make a close friend or two. For example, there's a certain student I've gotten to know who is always willing to put his own work aside and help you out. Amit Patel was always the first to ask, do you need an assistant, or do you need help cleaning your cubicle? Amit truly exemplifies what it means to be a man for others. And even for the classmates I don't know as well, there's one person I'm thinking of who I don't think it's possible to come away from a conversation being in a bad mood. Margaret Ordonez is one of the most calm and collected people I've ever met. And again, truly a woman for others. But along with my classmates, a big part of what defines Marquette stems from its faculty and mentor network. This is largely in part due to the fact that we see you as mentors rather than authority. I'm sure it's no easy task to look at a novice dental student's work and not want to scream out, this is awful. Instead, you have to say nice things like, well, if you just changed A, B, C, X, Y, Z, did it over twice, it might work. So first and foremost, thank you all for your patience. I wanted to take this time to personally thank 2 faculty members without whom I wouldn't be standing where I am today. The first is my group leader, Dr. Nen. Whether it be your... Thanks, Clinic D. Whether it be your approachability and guidance or constantly losing to your trivia team every Thursday, from day one I've felt cared for. I know being group leader of the best clinic in school comes with the added stress, and I thank you for everything you've done for us. The next faculty member I wanted to thank is the newbie, Dr. Engibus. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Engibus has been with Marquette for just over a year. And in that short amount of time, he's made such an impact that he beat out the rest of his competition, many people who've been here for many years. The hype was real, and Marquette is truly stronger for having you on board. I know we're all excited and eager for the next chapter in our lives, but we would not be in this position if not for every single one of the faculty and staff at Marquette. I personally cannot express enough gratitude for all you have done for our careers, but I'm excited to continue to call you mentors, colleagues, and friends. So Conrad, Paul, next round's on me. Now this is the part where I'm supposed to leave you with some inspirational advice and say things like, believe in yourself. And this is the first day of the rest of your life. Instead, I'm going to use the KISS rule. K-I-S-S, keep it simple, stupid. A valuable lesson I learned from our Associate Dean, Dr. Koenig. And I'm leaving you with 3 words, words that conveniently happen to be Marquette's motto. Be the difference. I promise you the university is not paying me to say this. It's just that this motto ties into what I'm going to miss most about Marquette, the sense of community. It's the dental school's commitment to Milwaukee and the entire state of Wisconsin through its community outreach. And beyond that, its commitment for producing dentists who are given the tools to go on and be the difference. So my send-off to the class is a charge to continue to make your faculty, friends, and family proud, and do so by building on what we've learned at Marquette, to make your communities better places because of your being there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hanna. And the stupid word is banned in my house, so it's usually the KISS principle, keep it silly, keep it simple, silly. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Marquette University School of Dentistry, I would like to thank you for coming to honor our graduates this evening. We are now at the conclusion of our ceremony. You are all invited back to the School of Dentistry for a reception immediately following the recessional. The dental school is located at the southwest corner of 18th Street and Wisconsin Avenue. Please enter through the south doors of the building adjacent to the dental school parking lot. The north doors of the School of Dentistry on Wisconsin Avenue will remain locked. Additional parking is available in the surface lot of the Blood Center of Wisconsin, located at the southeast corner of 18th Street and Wisconsin Avenue, directly across from the parking lot in the School of Dentistry. There is also additional parking in Lot T on 19th Street. Mentors and family members who are participating in the hooding ceremony are reminded to return their academic apparel at the dental school. Boxes will be located in the lobby of the dental school adjacent to the Office of Admissions for your convenience. We would ask that all family members and guests please remain in their seats until the graduating class and hooders have recessed out of the church. Thank you and have a very good evening.